if you are a beginner, this is video going for you. So let's get started and deep diving. So hi guys, myself Dharmendra Soni, and today we are going to talk about Laravel. Why? Because Laravel is a full stack framework for doing web artisan work, meaning that you can create APIs, you can create front-end application, you can create back-end application, you can do a lot of background tasks, for example, jobs, sending email notifications, etc. And why Laravel is very powerful? Because it has a lot of building blocks that are already built for you, so you do not have to create them. It's like very helpful. It's very easy to, as a normal engineer, to get started. So let's understand why it's very important. For example, let's open node.io. Okay, I'm going to show you. So for example, let's say this is what you want to build. Let's say this product that you want to build. This is a product. In this product, there are many services that are required. For example, there is a authentication service, there is a model service, there is a notification service, and many, like there, for example, migration, and so on and so on. And if you start a project from scratch, you need to build these tools for yourself from the beginning, from the root level. And there are very high chances that this will never get completed and never gets fully built. Maybe, and it will delay your project very late, and you might get frustrated. And so using Laravel is a framework that provides you the built-in resources or substitution or alternative for these modules. Any modules that is required. For example, doing the front is important, doing the jobs is important. So yeah, this is very important. Laravel has built-in services for this. So if you want your users to authenticate, you can take the user authenticator system and link it with your product. You want data services, database services, you can take these along with migration service. If you want your users to get notification at a particular time, you can take the clone services. If you want to send notification after registration or do something extra work or post processing after some events, you can do the job. You can take the jobs and create your product after that. So in this video, we are going to talk about how to install Laravel from the starting. For example, like installing PHP, installing Composer, having database, and running PHP, installing a Laravel project, and creating a service like CRUD service. I will going to do this right now. So let's get started inside this video. First, we need to download the PHP. The latest version of the PHP is 8.3. Download it for Windows. Let's search for PHP Windows Archive. It will give you this file, and you can search for PHP 8.3. And yeah, you can download your system. My system is 163264, so I'm going to this one, NTS. I have already downloaded this file. I'm going to extract it, and then so let's copy it. Okay, and create a new folder, PHP. I believe I have already a folder. Paste it here, extract it. So, and this is installed. But the problem is right now the PHP command is only available here. So first of all, I need to make it globally available. So I'm going to paste it inside the system environment. So go to the control panel, search for environment, edit environment variables, come here, call it, okay, and yeah. And now I'm going to enable the PHP and edit the php.ini. This is very important, and enable some extension. This is very important part, because by default, when you download the files from like this, the way I did, is not default installer. Like you just go there and click on MSI installer and click next. I did not do that. I just did it manually. So I need to do some things manually. So, and I believe there is no best way to do this. There is no default installer that I could find. If you found the default installer, please send a link to me inside the comments channel, inside the comments, and yeah, we will go there, for example. So search for the extension and _dir. For Windows, this is it, and enable the OpenSSL extension, GD MPL typical and first SQLite, PGSQL, and MySQL, because maybe I'm just going to use this. Without enabling these extensions, you cannot run this. For example, if your project is always going to use MySQL, you need to enable this MySQL extension. If you are going to always use PGSQL, you need to install this PGSQL. If you are always going to use SQLite, then you need to do the SQLite extension. So yeah, let's test this. So I'm going to come here and write PHP, and everything is fine. There is no error. That is up. There is also called include remote. Let's forget that. Also, I'm going to come here and install the composer. The next part is to composer. So the first of all, search for the composer. Go to the download. I'm going to come here and also come here. Create a new folder called composer. Call it curl. So what it's going to do is it will going to download the shell definition from this route and pipe that into composer, and so let's test it. Definition is it's installed and everything is fine. The only doubt, the problem is that if I go to my another folder and try to run the same command, it will say this. I need to make it globally available like PHP. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here and go to the get started and search for the Windows, okay, and run this command on this folder. What it's going to do is that it's going to create a bat file and make it a default opener, and that will let it. So and use this bat file into our system variables, so that can be whenever we write composer, it should be get initiated on demand. So let's done that. pwd. Let's just write this. Copy this path. Go to the control panel. Environment variables. Come here. This and this, and close this. Yeah. So I think our composer has been installed. Let's check it. And now we can go to our next step, which is to install Laravel. So first we need to go to the Laravel documentation and search for the composer. And right now I'm going to search for the location that where I'm going to run this. So first of all, let's create it for the CMD here. And this is a command to get started and create a project with Laravel. Composer space create project is Laravel/Laravel. And what is the project name? It's going to be a YouTube beginner course. So it's going to create a new folder, YouTube beginner course. Let's check it equal to that or not. So it says that pip and serget commands are both missing. So let's search for this until it gets installed. Yes. So we just need to enable this. Come here, and write CMD extension. Please search for zip. Okay, here we have. Let's see if we have the zip extension here or no. Yeah, we have the zip extension. We also have BZ2. So let's not do that and close this. And it says that it's required file system. I'm very beginner with Windows. So let's do it manually. Usually I use MacBook actually. So come here, manually delete this folder. It requires what it requires is that file info is required. So extension is required file. Come to this. Let's hit here. See if we, so only enable those commands, everything will run. This was a fresh installation that I was having. I was just wanted to show you what to and how to get started with PHP. from the beginning to the end. I have put the success below the commands. You can go there and also check you want to skip certain areas. Just wanted to go to the main points. So now we are going to the next step, which is to running the Laravel project smoothly. So to do that, we are going to run this to the directory and run the following command: PHP artisan serve. And here, like that, we have run this project. Yeah, and everything is fine. Let's go deep dive into it. And so first of all, we need to go to our project folder and come here, write code, and yeah. So to run this, we are going to need few extensions, which is Laravel. These extensions, especially in VSS code, are going to help you in your journey very smoothly, because they will provide you some auto completion and are mind blowing. Like wherever you need, so let's say you have hundreds of configuration and you need to see which configuration is where, because we cannot remember all of those things. So the IntelliSense packages, Blade packages are going to just install top 3 or 4 extensions that are how I installed it, and everything is going to. So once we have installed that, and first of all, let me give you the introduction to the Laravel direct. So let me do it. So this is a model view controller architecture, MVC architecture, meaning that it has models come first, then it has models, views, and controllers. But whenever a request comes, it goes to the controller. Controller asks the model to give the data, and then controller pass it to the views. So yeah, so in the app directory we have controllers direct folder, where we can write our actual endpoints like get, set, port. We have models like the database connections to the tables. We have multiple providers. We do not have to take care of this in the beginning. Then we have configuration for multiple configurations for like what is our application name, what is the environment, is it production, local, or development, or something like that. Here we have databases for there we can run the migration. So for those who are new to the migration, let me tell you what is a migration. So let's say you starting a project, and in that project there are multiple tables, multiple personalities are working, and you need to modify a certain table column or add a column to a table, create a new table, etc. If you are working alone, you can just go to the PHP admin and edit the table yourself and describe it into the model, like this is the top column that I have in it. The problem is that the more project will grow, the less convenient it is track the changes. What has been done the changes on the following table for that. For example, let's say we added a feature to have a username, but going forward there is no, so it becomes very heavy. So let's get started. So why migrations are important? So let's say you are working on a project and there are some that are required. So databases. So databases, these are the databases files, migrations, and migrations are one of the important most things. We will talk about this part later. But yeah, you can see that we are creating a new table. We are creating a new tables. We are creating some arcs, jobs. Example. Here we are going to have our public files, for example, public asset, JS files, CSS files, and maps, robots.txt. Here we can just go write down our logic for the front end. We are going to use Blade template. It default uses Blade template engine to create the templates for your views, and yeah, these are routes for console, meaning that artisan console. For example, whenever you write PHP artisan route, this file makes sure to add a new route here. For example, there is a new route for Inspire. Let's take this. So you can see that I have not failed. I have just found 10,000 lists that cannot work. And then we can also see this is our web routes for managing web routes for our public. So yeah, so also let's get started with creating a simple file. So first of all, we are going to use our Bootstrap. So first of all, let's create a template with this. So first of all, we are going to create our template in the front end for the views. First, let's call it layout main dot layout dot and run it, and make sure to always put. I just like to have the scripts in a at the bottom. That's the only thing. And then we are going to call it div class container. So this will become our template. So whenever we do, so this will, so we will do not have to rewrite this file again and again everywhere, and call it, just let it be main, and then we can, I can show you print type, and then we can call it, and this will become our layout for the first page. So here you can see everything is adding up clean and nice. So let's create that to do the operations for adding and deleting. So the first of all that we are going to, let's see how our table looks like. So no, the tasks will be nice. To do the tasks, let's create a small project to manage the to-do tasks in Laravel. To do that, first of all we need to create two things. First of all, we need to create the database migration. Second, we need to create a model. Then we need to create the routes, frontend, and the controller. So how we are going to do that? We are going to create some tables called PHP partition migration. And then we are going to come here, schema, create table called product, and this will become a big increments, then create the and that's all. Then we are going to come here, similar drop exist, and that's how we are going to handle this. So we have created this, and now we need to migrate it. So PHP artisan migrate, and we have done the migration. Then we can come to our model, PHP artisan make model, call it quoted label, quoted. I forgot the semicolon. Classic. So yeah, we have done this. Now we need to create some route. So the first of all, we need to do the tables. I think I need to create few things. First of all, I need to the views. So the views will be like, so let's first create the views. I have done that here. So it's going to be like forum. Then it's going to be paginated list. So the first, let's create the form. So create a form, let's tab it inside the form. Let's create a PV class. So now right now I can run this. So I need to make this into type to from submit to button to submit. This is going to submit it, and yeah, this is done. Then I'm going to, first of all, let's run this. Let's create a controller, PHP partition make controller to controller. So first of all, we also need to create request to validate our request. Click request. So I think everyone is authorized to do this, so it will be true default, and this is going to be a task required. Then going to be string minimum. No, let's not put them. That's all we require. And coming here, and first of all we need to import that request use. So let me describe what is a request. So request in Laravel, just request is a class in Laravel that helps you authenticate and validate your, meaning that, for example, let's say you want to enter into a Twitter, and so there is a gatekeeper that will check your ticket. Then it will check yours and do the security check, and then it will let you in. So the request does the same for the Laravel. And whenever the input comes to a controller function, it's check that request that has come is valid, and if it's not valid, it will throw an error and never come to the controller. If it's valid, then it's come to the controller function and execute the after that. So it's very safe method to do that. So hopefully I explain it better, but if you have more questions, please send on to me, and I will answer your questions. So let's create a public function. Public, we'll say to add, this is the request, and this is already been validated. So what we are going to do is that we are going to take our model, and then we are going to create it. So to create it, we just need to do nothing, just to take what is the input field that is required. So the input field is task, and this is task. So think back to this here. So how we are going to do this? Create tasks is going to be request task. and then it's going to be true. Return redirect back. We are going to go to the use, and we are also going to use the CSRF utility here, and also would. So in any case, if our validation has been failed, it will come back to this folder file, and it has all the saved value to this. So we do not have to rewrite the whole logic again. And yeah, now we need to define the controller. To define the controller, we need controller route. So first of all, we are going to look app, go to then we are going to route first, and then we are going to get save proto controller save, and we are going to come here, define the method. Then we are going to define our action, and the action is going to be route. Let me go to the front end. Check if everything is fine. Affected out. Yeah, everything is fine. Everybody go. Yeah, let me add it. Oh, I forgot to change the placeholder. Yeah, everything is fine. Whenever we are loading our front end, we need to pass the. So we are going to create a new function. FLCT function view, and then we are going to say that data latest resonate. We need to pass the values on this file. So we need to call it from the controller. So how we can call this from the controller? From this, and we are going to call it. Let me check if I have any error. I believe no, but and if let me do the check if I have data correct or not. The items, no items. Check why I do not item. Let's do not say that for now. PAV class and the past system the view. We are going to call it data. So whatever we pass this value, this will become a variable for the view, and this will become a variable. So how we are going to do this? So storage as, and now we have the pagination link, and class all. Oh yeah, now we need to the we forgot to give it a name. Task. The name we need to give it in our controller function was not been called, and it was redirected from the view itself, from the request itself, as I have said in the beginning. And now you can see it has become I think right. So you can see like this. You can also create a logic for updation and deletion as well. Hope you like this video and enjoy this very much like I did. If you have any questions, any further queries, write down in the comments, and I will take care of those. The full depth guide only will come if we have a proper guidance. So yeah, thank you and have a nice day, or the night, or the evening, wherever you are. Thank you.